Hello students, I hope you all are staying in and staying safe and following the rules of the lockdown. In today's video, I am going to take the subject Introduction to Operation Management, and the topic I am going to cover is concept and types of production and types of services. So first we try to understand what is the concept of production is. The process of planning, organizing, directing and controlling the activities of production function, or we can say conversion of raw material into finished product. You have to understand this simple line that converting the raw material into finished product is called production. Now, to understand the concept of production, we have to understand these three dimensions of the production, that are production work as a system, production is as an organizational function, and there is a decision making in production. What is production as a system? The system where there is an input and output. So there is a input of raw material and output of finished products in production. So it works as a system. All other organizational function like marketing, finance, HR, production is also one of the basic organizational function where because of which the organization works. And third one is decision making in production. The production have very important decision making criteria, and all the decisions of productions affects all the other organizational functions. So there is a decision making in production. So these are the three dimensions of the production, that it work as a system, it has an organizational function, and there is a decision making in a production. Now we move towards the next slide, that is types of production. Basically, there are four types of production system. First is mass production, job-based production, batch production, and assembly line production. First, we try to understand what is mass production or flow production. When a company do continuous production of standardized products on a large scale, or arrange the machines in a proper sequence of operations, it is called mass production. You can very well understand by the canned products, the cement, steel, all are made through this production system. When there is a standardized product is produced and there is no variation in the product, and the company has to make a large scale of products, it use mass oblique flow production. In this, there is it is done in anticipation of demand, that there will be a demand in future and the company start making the products in a large scale. Now the second one is job based production. It is a peculiar, special or non-standardized products are produced and according to the order received from the customer. It is not like you are making large scale production, you are doing large scale production. In this, when there is an order from the customer, you start making it, and it also required large inventory of material, parts and tools. And the best example for job based productions are shipbuilding, dam construction, buildings, book printing. And one thing you should keep in your mind, that they don't make a specific product, or they don't make a product which are having the same features. Okay, now the next one is batch production, where there are functional layout for various manufacturing processes. One operation is carried out on whole batch and then it is passed to the next operation, and so on the process go on. And this is trade is seasonal. There is a need to produce great variety of goods. Basically, I want to say that the batch production is there when there is a seasonal demand for the products. Okay, and in this type of production, the work is of repetitive nature, and the best example is clothing and your household appliances like making of ACs and all that, in which there is demand is based on the seasons. Now the next one is assembly line production. This is the most traditional type of production, where the manufacturing is done by using series of workstation or an assembly line. The workstation may be tools or men, and they are standing in the sequence, and the component part travel the last distance, and they required work slides and carrier to move to carrier to move to the next operation. For this type of production, the conveyor belts are required. This is the most traditional type of production, and we can say that all the workstations are in a sequence. When the operation is done in the first workstation, it moved to the second one, then to the third one, and so on and so forth. If the major drawback of assembly line production is if any one of the workstations stops, the work will stop, or it will create a hinder in the production sequence. So the assembly line production, it is very important for all the workstations to move, to work or operate continuously and without pause. Now we move to the next slide, that is classification of service. This is the next topic, types of services. The classification of services. So basically services are classified on these four or these 5-6 categories. There is the division is based on according to the industry, target effect, by the goal of the service provider, by degree of the customer contact, by labor intensiveness, or by skill level of the service provider. So the first type of services are according to the basis of industry. You all know these all industries are service provider, whether there is entertainment, education, telecommunication, transportation, all these are types of service providers. So this classification is based on the basis of industry. The second one is classification on the basis of target effect. So in this classification, the types of services are people processed, mental stimuli processed, possession processed, and information processed. What is people processed? These type of services are aimed towards the physical care of the people, which involves healthcare and hospitals. Second one is mental stimuli processing, which involve the mind of the customer, or we can say the services related to the mental stimuli. Basic are the examples are education, consulting, etc. Next one is possession processing, which are aimed towards the physical possession of and tangible assets like repair services. And last one is information processing. It involves the services for intangible assets like banking, legal consultation, and brokerage. The next classification is based on the skill level of the service provider. The first one is professional and unprofessional services. You all know this, professional services and what are unprofessional services. The fourth one is on the basis of labor intensiveness. Labor intensive services, in that the labor should be specialized to do the nature of service like electrician, plumber, artisan, etc. And second one is equipment based, where the this equipment should be specialized like services of computer operator or lift operator. Now the next one is on the basis of degree of customer contact. So first one is high degree of customer contact, where there is the contact to the customer is always and every time and every day, like TV channels, mobiles, etc. The second one is moderate degree of customer contact like teacher, barber, where you meet them but in a regular basis for some time. Now the last one is low degree customer contact, which is occasional customer contact like priests, doctors, which you don't meet regularly. The next classification is on the basis of the goal of the service provider. Sometimes the services are depend upon the basis of the goal of the service provider. First is non-profit. All the non-profit organizations work on this basis, and some are profit making. The activities and the motive of which is to earn profit, like tuitions or teacher teaching in a urban private schools or any type of services where the goal of the service provider is to make profits. So I hope you are clear with the today's topic, and that is all for the day, and I hope you all stay in and stay safe. Take care of yourself. Thank you.